Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and of course I got another review for you. This is Black Caravan's Broken Souls Ballad, issue number 3, a book that I've, first off, it is like one of my top picks of 2021. I have, this year I've fallen in love with this writer. No joke, no hype, no lies, definitely. But I mean, he's writing 3 or 4 different current stories that I'm heavily invested in. They're all equally good. That's good writing, to me, my opinion, and to each his own, you know. But this book, from issue 1, this was definitely my top pick of that week that it dropped. It has been a while. There have been some delays on this book, but it's not no one's fault, and I'm just glad to have the story continuing. It could be the opposite, where issue 1 came out and we never got any more of the story. So let's get into the info here. We got it is written by and I know I mispronounce this guy's name every time and I feel so bad, but it's Massimo Rosi. Then it is illustrated by let me see, I think it's Ludovica Ceregatti, and then it is I guess that's it. It just says written and illustrated, and then cover is done by Ludovica Ceregatti. They are both Italian. That's a big part of the reason that I can't. I do speak Spanish, pretty fluently, but Italian is a whole different monster. But I'm just happy to have this, man. This art, this story. In a nutshell, this is basically like a horror version of the X-Men. You have some kids that have been experimented on and given some weird, extreme, strange powers. It has gotten to the point in their lives where these powers are activating and they are dealing with these powers. The first issue we met a boy that was like half a dog. The dog literally kind of comes out of him in horror fashion. It does not transform completely. He is still there, the boy, but the dog also has a sentient mind, memories, that kind of thing. We do meet some other individuals like this boy right here. When he gets, so far as we've seen, when he gets nervous or anxious, he has all these holes that open up on his body, and he has like a bajillion of leeches, like creatures that come out of him. At the moment, none of these kids have any real control over it, except for the first kid. But we have met some of the other kids. There's one who turns into like like his whole body is encased in slime, and even looks like at one point his body does take on that shape, like a fluid kind of blobby looking. We did meet another kid it looks like he is able to kind of melt his skin and produce acid at will, but it doesn't look like it affects him. Like it does melt his skin and affect his skin, but he's able to kind of recall it and bring it back, kind of thing. It's weird. But we are catching up with and basically this is another story following another one of these boys, and again, I'm bad with names. I think his name is I know we got Luke and we got I can't ever remember. I hate this. Bad with names, guys. If I read it while we're going, I'll put it up. But basically, we just get these, like, we get this one boy and he's stuck at home, and then we get this. He goes to meet these other kids that are hanging out at an arcade, and they're basically talking about hanging out and chilling, and as they are like, just talking out and chilling. This does take place in the 80s. But they do mention that this girl, and I think her name is Driss, but they do, I think it's Priss with a P. But Priss is at this comic book store, and I love that they have, the issue that he gives her is The Watchman, Alan Moore's. Yes! Great comic. But we kind of see that this boy, that he has a thing for Priss, and he's kind of shy on Priss, and his name is Tom. I kind of felt like it was, but I couldn't remember. But Tom does, like, he has this whole like shy thing and stuff, and he does see that you know, that she kind of likes him too, and they do set up a date, you know, tomorrow or something like that to kind of hang out and chill. He goes back with his friends and stuff, and they kind of, you know, all excited that he does have the date with the pretty princess. They all think she is pretty, but they all kind of, they are friends and promote him in the right fashion, you know. There's no jealousy or angst or anything like that. We do go back to, you know, the pier, and they are kind of going into, I think at this point when the, you know, the guy Tom has told his other friends that he has this power and he doesn't understand it, but he is the one that kind of has the acid power, and he is showing him some of the details of the after effect, that it does leave some kind of like damage on his body, that it doesn't recover completely, but it does over time. It's just, you know, as it's healing, you can kind of see some effects of it. They kind of jump over to, like, well, I think it is Tom at home or whatever, but we catch up with our main character, and he is shown here in the hood, and the dog is present, but for some reason he has tracked down this other kid. We do find out that I think at this point the dog, and that's what we're going to call him for now on, but the dog kid is the only one that kind of knows of the other children. The way the story presented it, though, was kind of like they were going to like find each other and become a group, or, you know, something like that. That's maybe not how the story is going, because as we see here, that Tom kind of finds out that someone is, you know, because the lights get turned out, and eventually the dog boy does make it inside the house and kind of quickly overpowers you know, our guy Tom. We do see that Tom tries to you know, he does try to fight him using his like acid stuff, and it doesn't really have an effect on the dog guy. The dog guy just massively, you know, overpowering Tom, and basically, you know, about to chomp his head, and he's doing all this weird licking, and it's a great scene. But at the same time, we do find out that there is something about each individual power that, like, the now that the dog, you know, kid knows that there's other kids with power, it's kind of like he needs to kill them to kind of gain their power, kind of like, or just to get rid of them, to eliminate, so they're, you know, he doesn't have any competition, kind of thing. We do kind of see that you know, that Tom's sister was there, and she kind of paints some of the confusion, and he is able to get free. We do see that a stranger ends up trying to help Tom, and it does not work out for the stranger, because instead of going after Tom, the dog boy does go after, you know, and this time, at this moment, it's not even a dog anymore, it's some kind of like demon looking thing that he has morphed into. But we do see that the dog kid goes, you know, right after the neighbor, and instantly, you know, kind of, you know, just chomps his face in two, and does he quickly kills him. But through all the kind of chaos, we do see that our guy Tom does grab the guy's shotgun, and does end up, you know, getting a blow shown here into the dog boy's face. Now they do show that the dog boy goes down, and he does revert back to his human form. They do show blood, you know, where he got shot, but I don't know if he is dead at this point, you know, because it's not like, they do show him kind of speaking and kind of slowly going down at that point. But I have to assume he, you know, because he got shot in the face, he did kind of die. We do see this other girl that it seems like she was watching, you know, she was just kind of like being neighborly or whatever, and heard the gunshot, but she has like an advanced form of compulsive disorder, and we see her counting, and she's got all kind of you know, glasses that she's got to touch or something like that. We do catch back up with one of the other kids, the one that I mentioned that has all the leeches that comes out of his body, and he's basically just trying to keep calm. He is not in the whole comfortable form with his leeches. It is a weird kind of power. But as he is chilling, all of a sudden he gets a tap at the window, and we do see the person on the front cover as shown here in the window. We don't know who or what it is, but he is drawn to this kid with the powers. We do get this weird dream sequence that some of the other kids throughout the first, second, and now the third issue, they have been mentioning that they have been having this dream, and it kind of shows this guy's mask, but I mean, there is no, it's weird. They show all kind of shoes, and you know, it's just a collection of images kind of thing. We do catch up with this other scene, supposedly of the boy that was having the dream, and this boy is strapped to a bed, waking up, and he doesn't know why he's strapped to the bed, just complaining that he is hungry, and he looks over and there is a guard, and he pleads to the guard, "Come on, man, I'm hungry, help me out." And we do see that it is all a trick, that the guard shouldn't have got so close, because the second he does, this guy kind of, his face kind of opens up and becomes this bigger mouth, and you know, we do see that that guard did not, you know, he did not plan those things out. It looks like he got his, you know, whole head chopped off, and it looks like that little kid got fed. But what this is showing us is a whole other kid, and they do show him on the 4th issue right here on the cover. But they did mention that there were other kids that had these powers, and I think right now we've only met, like, well, officially now we've met 4, I think. And I think in the beginning they had mentioned 7 or 5 to 7, something like that, that I remember. I cannot talk enough about this book. It is amazing. The art is stellar. The use of horror in the book. Not only is it not campy at all, it is it is. I mean, it's just an altogether A+ book. I can't talk highly of his writing, of the art that's in this book. For some reason, if you have passed a Broken Souls Ballad and you're a horror fan, or like a dark superhero tale, this one is great. That's all I can say. But that is my review on Broken Souls Ballad. Please like, comment, subscribe. You know, let me know if you've never heard of it. You know, I mean, if this is the first time you're hearing about it. I do have single form issues on each issue. This is one of my top picks, and going forward, it is still one of my top picks. But I will see y'all soon. Bye, guys.